Hi, I'm Joe from Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. We have a very dear artist friend who's fighting for her life with cancer. We really care and love her. Perhaps you or a loved one are going through a rough time also. We know there are many artists and non-artists in the same situation. So we're dedicating this time to all of you. Here at Cheap Joe's, we sincerely believe art is healing. Whether you call what I will do here today art or simply playing, please know it's dedicated to you. We pray and hope for your well-being. I want to tell you about a new paper that I've discovered. It's not really new, it's been out for a while, but I've had so much fun with it lately, and I would like to show you because I think you'll just love it. It's called Terraskin, and this is the Terraskin paper. It's white just like any other paper, except it's unique in that this paper is actually made from stone. I should have brought a rock to hold up, but it's made from stone. And there's no water, there's no bleach. It's called cradle to cradle because it's totally non-polluting. It's acid-free, it's archival. No trees were used in its production. It's good for oil painting, acrylic, charcoal, watercolor, pen and pencil, ink, silver point, paper cutouts. It is water resistant, tear resistant, acid free, no fiber. Accurate cutting, precise scoring, crisp embossing, and it comes in many weights. I really enjoyed painting on it lately. I'll never desert my watercolor paper like Kilimanjaro or those papers that we love, but this is so much fun as kind of a change, kind of a diversion from what we've been doing. It comes in sheets that are a little larger than a full sheet of watercolor paper. I think it's 28 by 32 maybe, or anyhow, it's a wonderful size and you can cut it so easily. This is it, but you just cannot tear it. It's tough as can be. I've drawn out this little sketch that you can see over here on the side of the table that I did a quick sketch. It doesn't have everything in it even because this is going to be a fairly quick demo. You don't need a long demo on this or that sort of thing. But I've put this little duck decoy in and the bottle and the little artificial berry tree, I call it, I found. And so this is a pencil sketch. Now the one thing that is very difficult to do is to erase really all the way back to white. So I let some of my lines be part of the painting that I'm doing. I don't worry about that. But if you want to erase it, just the white plastic eraser or the kneaded gum eraser, if you really want to get it up, then you need to go to the paint erase, which is this rejuvenating sponge, and dampen the sponge a little bit, and then come in here and just scrub, and it'll come right up. It does change the surface of the paper just a little, or the Terraskin, but it doesn't affect it once you start putting color on it. I love using pen and ink, different pens, and what I've learned on Terraskin is that you can use a waterproof pen, and as you watercolor or add color to it, it won't bleed. You can also use a pen that is not waterproof, and it'll tell you generally on the pen, there are lots of them out there, that are not waterproof. And so this one is not. This is a Tradio pen that is not waterproof. And so I'm going to do just a touch of drawing with it, and then you'll see what it does in the final painting. I'll put just maybe a little bit here and there. And then I'm also going to do a waterproof pen, and I'm going to add just a little bit of detail here with the waterproof pen, and you will be able to see again kind of what it does, because it won't run and it'll stay just like it is here on this. And then after it's done, we can come back and add some lines and details to it even then. So now we're ready to paint, and I'm using these Pseudo Sable brushes. I wanted to call them Psycho Pseudo because I'm crazy about them. They're a wonderful brush. They were made to imitate Sable, but they actually act almost exactly like Sable. It's a nylon product. They hold a great point. They hold a lot of color. And the one thing, they're a lot less expensive than Sable. When I'm Cheap Joe, although we sell lots of Sable brushes, and I love them, but this is a very economical route for a great brush. Pseudo Sable, Miller's Pseudo Sable it's called. And they come in flats and rounds and everything, so just a lot of fun. But I'm going to start off, this duck is I'm going to change it. This duck is actually that we're going to do here is called a redhead. And I'm simply, you can see the brush, I've got it loaded up here, and I'm simply going to come in and put in some color here on this little duck. And you can, I don't know if you can tell now, but hopefully you can, that it's just holding exactly where it is there. So here's the head of the duck, and I can come in here with some darker color. The red I used was Joe's red. I'll come in here with a little dark color because the light's going to be coming this way. So I'm just going to add a little darker color right in there. Then I'm going to add some real dark color right down here because this duck has some real dark color right in there. With this, just darken it right up. And then back here in the rump, this color I'm using is Cheap Joe's American Journey Midnight Blue. And it's actually by other companies called Indanthrone Blue. Really dark, stays really dark, gorgeous color. And we probably are going to change the name to Indanthrone Blue so people will recognize it that way, and we'll put Midnight Blue in parentheses or something. So there becomes my duck. Now I'm down here where the ink is, right along the bottom, and there's the little body of the duck. The bill is blue, so it could be a blue-bill duck. It could be a red-headed blue-bill duck. It could be a red-headed, black-breasted, red-eyed blue. Oh, I don't know what it's going to be. But anyhow, it's going to be our duck, and that's the way we're going to proceed with it. This little vase back here, the light's coming this way, so it's going to be darker right here on this. We'll put a little, make it a little bit of blue like that. The wine bottle that I have in the display is green. So I'll pick up some of my yellow, which it happens to be Joe's yellow. And I know you're saying, what a coincidence. And there's the green with the midnight blue green to make that darker color. So I'll come right in here with this, and I'll leave a little light streak on this because glass has a little light streak on it. And then I'll change the color, go to a different color here on this side. And that label, I have to go around the label because it's a light colored label, of course. I'm adding some more yellow again, clean my brush and get a little blue in there, a little more of that darker midnight blue, which is really a pretty color. Charles Reed, I took his workshop back in the summer this year, and I just loved it, and I learned so much, and he got me all excited about painting and doing this sort of thing with all these wonderful little accidents that looked like accidents, and yet he thought each one of them out. They were just wonderful, and we had a great time painting together. And that basically is the idea here. This is a fly. I tied flies when I was a boy for trout fishing. Loved it, had so much fun. And this is my signature fly, was a Royal Coachman. And I just loved that fly. And this is a box of flies over here, so I'll put a little bit of in there for that. And then I'm going to pick up some of this wonderful dark blue again and finish this fly up kind of like that. It's got some what we call hackle. And hackle came from wrapping a feather around the hook so that it stood up, and that's what makes a trout fly float. And I tell people that I was born with a fly rod in my hand instead of a silver spoon in my mouth because I just love to fish, still do. So that's the process. I put tape around this whole border here, and I'll go ahead and add a little bit of color along the border. I'm going to finish the painting. I brought a finished painting to show you because it's the same process that we're going through here. Kind of a lot of negative painting, and then we'll spatter a little bit in there. Let's put some shadow on this side of the fly box and kind of leave that. My friend Charles would say you can't leave too much white, and I believe it. It's just, his paintings are just so much fun, and to watch him paint was so much fun also. So add a few of these berries up here on this little limb, and then I can be careful and add them real deep, or I can be real loose. And I tend to be real loose, as you can tell. I don't get caught up too much in too much detail. So let's give the little duck a red eye. Now I'm going to add a nice color. This is Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet for the handle of this fly rod right here. Woo, isn't that beautiful? I love that color. Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet. I'll leave a little side, and the rod itself is going to be that same color. So I'll put some in there, leave a little light in there. It's a bamboo fly rod, very old. Was used by Isaac Walton. I'm kidding you. He was kind of the father of trout fishing. And then the fly reel is right here. And then we can put in some, the brush. My goodness, I'm about to forget the brush. This is the Sable brush with a pretty blue handle. And then we have some shadow in here, like this sort of thing, and we can spatter a little bit of that in there. And then this line is around here. Now then, I'm going to add just a little bit of color up in these corners right here, maybe right in here even a little bit, just to show you after I take the tape off what we have. And we'd probably want to come on in here with some color. Okay. Oh, I know what I forgot. This little fly box right here has Cheap Joe's logo in it, so I have to put, there we go. There it is. Now then, it will dry in just no time because the paint's setting up pretty much on the surface. So I'll go ahead and take the tape off, and you'll see what we've got. It's creeped under there just a little bit on me. But again, that kind of adds interest to it. It gives them rather than just a dead straight line, it gives us a little bit of variety in that. And that's what we have, and it's not near finished yet, but you can see how quick it is, how bright the color is. It's just a really fun piece of paper. I'd like to show you a few finished pieces if I can. I have two little demos that I've prepared for this little play demo or serious art demos play. And these are my fishing things, and I try to do things that are close to me, and these all are. This is a shorebird in here, but I wanted to show you this is water-soluble pen right here. So if I come in here with just water, I can put a really nice little shadow under here. And this is just water, and this is a water-soluble pen, and they come in a lot of different names. You can buy them. We have them, of course. Here's waterproof. So I'll go over this one, and nothing happens. So that's the difference there in that, and it has its place. I don't know what I put over. Oh, this is the water-soluble. Here's the daisies. I better be careful. I can pick up a little of this dark, make that. I can put the apple in there in this value. So with the water-soluble pen, we can do a value study just by using the ink that's on the paper there. Isn't that fun? Look at that. And they get a value study. If we want to add color, of course red's always a wonderful color to add. We can add some color to it. We could add some yellow to the lemon here, and it turns it kind of lemony yellow. We can put a fly here, and a little bit of red here on this right here. and a little bit of dark for the hook and where it's tied up. And there we have the fly that way. I just love this paper. It's so much fun. This is a finished piece that I brought to show you with the duck. I have a trout that's on a pedestal, a little wooden carved trout, and of course the fly's in the foreground. And the background is pretty much colored, so I think that when I mat it, put a mat around it, it will look totally different. Here is one that I did for thinking of a golfing friend of mine who's a golf pro here. The first lefty to win a tournament named Sam Adams, my great friend. So I have the golf club and of course the bird, and over here's the green that he'll be going to and the different things that you can see in there. What I like about this painting is the size of this pencil. Look how big this thing is. It must be that big around compared to the wine bottle. It's half as big around as a wine bottle. So I don't get caught up. I'm just having fun, and if it's too big, it's too big. These are Christmas cards that I've prepared. This is one totally on the Terraskin paper. And again, it's going to be for one of my trout fishing buddies. I have another one that I did on the same paper, the Terraskin, but it's 5.5. It's 5.5 by 7, and then I'm going to mount it on this bright red piece of paper and put the message inside. Here's one that I have drawn out on the Terraskin, a little larger, ready to paint and do the background with it. This one. And of course, as you can see, none of these are matted yet. I have the corners drawn out, but this one is for a writer friend of mine who's written books, and so this is going to be his Christmas card. Here's a larger one. This is nearly a full sheet. I think I cut some of it off, and I really should have a mat to show you because I love mats. They define your painting, make a place out of it. But anyhow, there's a full sheet. They're easy to do. They're quick. You get these wonderful color expressions in them. And then I brought one more to show you. And this one's a little brighter color. The color is going to be just as bright as you want it to be because it's going to stand right up there on top. I've scrubbed out some of this because I didn't like what I had going on in the water reflection. So that's the Terraskin paper. We have it here at Cheap Joe's. It's not expensive and it's just really, really fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for being with me today, and happy art.